Like always, today's episode is brought to you by our amazing sponsors: gluten-free diet water, premium junk clothing, Williamson wines, Good Dudes coffee. Gluten-free diet water. Stay hydrated with a refreshing twist. Perfect for those health-conscious listeners. Premium junk clothing for those who love to express their unique style with high-quality fashion pieces. Visit premiumjunkclothing.com and use code EverydayGSD15 at checkout. Williamson Wine, natural artisan wine from Napa and Sonoma. Good Dudes Coffee, veteran owned by former Navy SEAL Josh Bridges. Every cup is brewed with passion and dedication to quality. Visit their website at gooddudescoffee.com and use discount code EverydayGSD10 for an exclusive offer. And also, don't forget to visit the Everyday GSD store at darinbibeau.com for all your official Everyday GSD merchandise. And now, let's dive into today's episode. Welcome to the Everyday GSD podcast. Today's special guest is Chelsea Kopelman. Did I say it right?
Nailed it.
Awesome. Okay, I'm going to do a little bio on Chelsea. And first of all, Chelsea, thank you for coming on the show. I know you're extremely busy because you have a few kids. We'll talk about that a little bit. And you kind of get around Carmel and the north side, Fishers, and all the areas around northern Indianapolis, as we would say.
That is true.
As some would say.
Yes, that's some.
So let me do this little bio, and then we're going to jump into it, okay? So you're the founder of Keeping Up Local and the ambassador behind Keeping Up in Carmel. Keeping Up Local is a digital media company that creates centralized resources for communities across the country to help people feel connected to where they live. How am I doing so far?
Great.
Perfect.
Nailing it.
You work supporting the North Indianapolis community, and you can be found through your affiliates Keeping Up in Carmel, where you curate a one-stop shop to living in North Indianapolis communities. Mm-hmm. And those communities are like Carmel, Fisher, Zionsville, Westfield, and Noblesville, for those of you who are listening to the show that are not from around here. Mm-hmm. Your background is in brand marketing for a Fortune 100 company. Mm-hmm. You're no longer there because you're on your own now.
That's right.
You're a wife and a mom of 3, 2 boys and a little girl, 7, 4, and 3.
Yes.
Awesome. And you're passionate about your faith and fitness, clearly. And you and your husband are Butler grads.
We both are. We met in college freshman year.
And you met in college.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
College sweethearts, as some would say.
Awesome. Well, that's where my wife went to college too.
I love that.
I did not meet her in college, but she,
go dogs.
Yeah, go dogs.
That's right.
Yes, 100%. And as the listeners that normally watch the show, you can see Jonica's not behind the bar today. Her little cutout is not there, but we're going to jump right into this. So you're in college and you decide you want to work for a big company.
Yep.
What made you want to go into marketing or digital marketing? How did this happen? Were you like...
So my college journey was interesting because I didn't start in on a business track, which is what I ended up with. I am from Fort Wayne, Indiana originally.
Okay.
Went to a really, really big high school. And
how many people?
There was 1,000 kids in, no. There was 500 kids in each grade. So
500 kids in your graduating class.
Correct.
It's a lot of kids.
Yes.
I mean, that's not as big as Carmel.
No, Carmel's more like the 1,000 kid. Yeah. That's what I'm used to thinking about now. But my high school is I think we had 550 in my
And just for the record,
class.
Before I moved to Carmel, I've never seen a school this big.
It's humongous.
It's humongous.
So
because that could be its own show, just talking about the Carmel High School.
You'd get some interesting comments on social media. That's for sure.
Boy, we would.
You would draw a lot of people out for that.
Yeah. There's some haters too.
Oh, they are thick. Yes.
Side note, did you ever see that video on YouTube about the
viral TikTok of Carmel High School?
Yeah.
Where they're like, this is the gym.
This is the gym. This is our media center. This is our...
I think it made national news.
This is pool A, pool B, pool C, pool D.
Oh my gosh. I think it truthfully made national news because it caused such an uproar in social media.
Oh, I had friends in California that watched the show that I've been buddies with forever. Yeah. And they're like, that's your town, right? I'm like,
this is where you live. Yeah, exactly.
I was like, it really is like that too.
It is. I think it was the Carmel, it was a club that they were just doing for a school project.
Yeah, school project.
And then it
literally blew up. Okay.
Yes.
So Fort Wayne. So 500 kids.
That's right.
All right. Back to reality.
500 kids in each grade. So it was 2,000.
Right.
Well, yeah. And
it's a big school.
Big school. I truthfully knew more. Flash forward now to college. I knew more people in my graduating class in college than I did in high school. It was just huge. I was looking for something a little bit smaller, so I went to Butler, and because I loved the school, I was a freshman the year after our second Final Four run.
Because how many people are in Butler?
Butler undergrad
It's like
is
5,000?
like 4,000 or 5,000. When I was there, it was like 4-ish, I
Right.
think. It may have grown since then, but I just wanted something a little bit smaller. When I went to visit campus, it was alive because it was during the second Final Four run. And it was like,
so you're like,
oh my gosh.
this is where I'm going.
This is incredible. I fell in love with it. And they're at the time, this has evolved. I've been out of college for like 10 years now, so this has evolved. But at the time, Butler was really known for pharmacy.
Yeah.
They still have an incredible
they
pharmacy
still are,
program.
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Their business school is definitely on the rise. They also have an incredible like ballet dance program.
My wife was ballet.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of people go there for that.
Yeah.
But I just was in love with the school and was more on the lines of what would be a great thing for me to major in, study that would be like productive for me to go to this school for that. Because you can go to a lot of schools for a lot of different things. It's not always like, well, why are you going to?
What was your other option besides Butler when you were thinking? You were thinking of an Indiana school?
I was.
Clearly.
Well, I had 3 in total that were like my top, and my other Indiana school is Notre Dame.
Okay.
Which I liked, but it felt really big.
Yeah. I mean, it is.
It is. And South Bend wasn't as attractive to me as
fair
a city.
enough. Right.
Growing up in Fort Wayne, like Indianapolis was always like a big, cool city
Yeah,
to
that's
me,
a
which
city
sounds crazy. I know people will cringe when they hear that.
Oh, no, but it's real.
Yes. I just thought of this as being like a really cool place to live. And so that was attractive for Butler. And then I also was looking at Northwestern outside of Chicago.
Okay.
Which is great. Felt far for me.
Right.
Yeah. And
so you picked Butler.
I did. I picked
Go
Butler.
Dogs.
Go Dogs. And I was a pharmacy major.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't like science. I had no business being a pharmacy major, but I thought like, okay, this is what you do when you go to that school.
But it's really difficult, right?
So difficult, but they also make like a ton of money. In my like limited view of what a ton of money meant
at the time.
At like 17, 18 years old, I was like, oh, let's just do this because the school's known for it and they're going to make a ton of money. And then it was like 3 days before I was going to go move into campus. And I was like, okay, like what is the pharmacist? And like,
what is a pharmacist?
Do they do?
What do we have to study?
That's right. What are the classes? And it's just, I was like, I don't like any of this. So I very quickly switched to business. And I remember the email that I got from the dean of the pharmacy school saying like, when you switch out, you cannot switch back. So are you sure that you want to do this? And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure, which was the best decision ever. So I studied business. I was a marketing and finance major, and I really didn't know where I wanted to work. I just knew that I really wanted to go someplace that was, I like a challenge.
Right.
So
Clearly.
I think what attracted me to go work where I did is they did recruit on campus, and they only took 1 hire in each division. And I was like, oh, that's a challenge.
You're like, I'm going to do this.
And
because you're an athlete too.
Yes.
Right?
I played volleyball most of my life. I started when I was 5'7" in 6th grade. So
because you're pretty tall. Yeah.
I'm 5'11" now, but I grew I was like the tallest person in my entire middle school in 6th grade, like even the boys. And so a tall girl sport like volleyball was very like attractive to coaches. Like you will come and play for me. So and then I had the opportunity to play like at the club level too in college, which was fun.
Which we talked about before the show, which is funny because when people talk about the club level, like, oh, you only played at club level. You played club level at a school that like kicked ass at that sport. So like that club level team can beat like a lot lot of other schools.
Yeah,
like,
it was competitive.
Yeah, it's competitive.
Yeah,
we'll just leave it like that, right? Okay, so you're excited. You're competing now because you have this in your body.
Yes. So I was like, if there's one spot, I mean, I want it. So how do I go get it?
Right.
And so then I've kind of known like once if there's something in my mind, I'll get like hyper fixated on it.
I love it.
So I did everything that I possibly could to like set myself up for success to be the one that was chosen.
So you were GSDing before you knew the term.
I don't even, for sure. I was like, I was like, what,
right,
like 19 years old. I love it. So yeah. And that was my junior year of college. And it was very much like, if you did get this, it was an internship that I was gunning for. And if they're taking one. They're taking one. And I was
Do you know how many applicants were there?
So many.
Like a bazillion.
Like applicants like 50 plus, interviews like 10. So if you get to the interview stage, it's already like okay.
Yeah, made it to the interview stage.
That's right. Like, yay. And it's just a cool interview opportunity. So you learn a lot. And you like, even just having an interview, I was like, if I can just experience what that feels like.
What a real interview is.
That's right. That'd be great. And so we went through that. And then the rhetoric was, we'd heard from like people who'd done this in the past, that if you can get the internship and you do a good job, that will likely lead to a job offer.
Right.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, like let's just figure out how to set myself up for success the best in this interview. And then, so then I was offered.
Did you do practice interviews?
Oh, for sure. So many.
Yeah.
Butler does a really great job at like prepping you if you know what you want to be prepped for. So like I went in there saying like, this is what I want. Help me be the best that I can possibly be to get this.
I mean, there's something to be said about that, recognizing what you want and what the end result is going to be.
That's right.
And that in between of, okay, I'm going to ask for some support.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask for some guidance.
Yes.
Because that's going to allow me to hit my goal.
Yes. Yeah.
And you recognize that.
I think, I mean, it was like
at a young age.
I feel like it wasn't my wisdom. I feel like it was a total God thing, that it was just like moving me along, because now I look back and it seems like that's what it was, what I was doing. But in the meantime, it felt like I was just a one-track mind, and like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And so then I was able to get that internship, started there, did marketing for them for.
And how many employees do they have? They're
big.
They're
40,000 plus.
Yeah, they're the largest employer
in
Indianapolis, and then FedEx was number 2, I believe.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So funny story too. So I met my husband in college.
Okay.
He was doing.
And he played sports too.
He played club basketball. Yeah. Yes.
How tall is he?
He and I are the same height.
So you do
roughly 6 feet.
Are your kids really tall?
They are insanely tall.
I love it.
They are like freakishly tall. I would love to show you a class photo of them, because you can easily spot without ever seeing my kids who my child is, because they're like, nope. Yeah, there they are. And it's funny because my older 2 are boys, and they're very tall.
Yeah, 2 boys and a girl.
That's right. And then my youngest, her name's Gigi, and she. Her
name is Gigi.
Gigi, yes.
That's so cute.
Yeah, and so we measure them every 6 months in the garage, like a little.
Oh, on the wall.
Yeah. And she's tracking the tallest of all 3 of them, and the boys are huge. So we're like,
are they a little jealous?
I mean, they're like, everybody sees her, and I'm just used to tall kids at this point. So I'm just kind of like,
your whole house is tall.
She's normal, but everybody's like, oh my gosh, she's so tall. And then, she is really tall. So anyways, but so Pete, my husband, he had a 5th year. He's an accountant, a CPA. So he had a 5th year for accounting.
Right.
Then he ultimately went through this same interview process that I did, because I was like, this company's legit. This is so fun. I'm learning so much. I think and then so he works there, and we both worked there together for a few years, and he currently still works there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So it was cool.
And so you're working there, and at what point do you decide that you think there's an opportunity for you, I'll call it in the outside world,
That's
or
right. Yeah.
What did family come first, and then that?
It was definitely like we're building the plane as we're flying it. Again, I don't know that I had that I knew which would come first. So
Correct.
the story here was that I absolutely loved my job from a marketing perspective. They are an incredible company at like training you up to be a really good marketer. The school that I got in my job, like outside of actual school, was incredible. I mean, I was floored by how much more I learned. I just thought when I got into the workforce, like I would be working, and I was much like working versus learning too. Like I was getting both. And
which is awesome,
it's
right?
It's very cool. It was very like bucket filling to me. I felt like I was always, they were helping me be a really good student of the craft.
Right.
And,
because it's the worst thing if you go work for a company and they're like, here's all your stuff, good luck. And you're
figure it out.
Yeah. And you're almost getting set up for failure, right?
Right.
And then as opposed to what they did with you is you're like, hey, I'm good at what I do because you hired me. And they're
That's
like,
right.
well, we can make you better.
Better. Yes, exactly. And really like teach you.
Going from good to great.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. And they did a great job at that. And they also had a culture that I loved, and the brand that I was on was really, really cool, and I loved it. And then I was definitely the person who, when I got pregnant with our first, who's now 7, people were like, I don't even know if she's going to take the full maternity leave. She's going to be itching to like get back here so quick, because I just loved it. And I was just eyes on the prize. Like, let's climb the ladder. Let's kick butt here. And let's just like keep moving. And I then, once I left on that maternity leave, like I just kind of felt a little bit of a change of heart. Yeah. Not necessarily in the work that I was doing. It's a change of life. Right? Yes. Yeah. And the work that I was doing was still super fulfilling, but it was just like a time thing. And I didn't realize how much time I was traveling and how much time I was gone until you have the time to look back and go, what was I doing? That's right. Or until I was like, oh my gosh, I only saw my child for 60 minutes today. Like, that's it. And then he was like, I picked him up from daycare. He was 60 minutes before he crashed out and he was asleep for the night. And that never resonated or really meant that much.
And this is during your first child?
That was my oldest. Yes. My 7-year-old. So I did a ton of things while still working there to try to like adjust so that I could kind of what felt like fill both buckets of my soul.
Right.
Like I really want to feel present in one place and I really want to feel like successful and like I'm doing a good job in another place.
Absolutely.
And so I worked adjusted hours. I worked 80%. I did even like a 50% schedule for a little bit.
Because they're pretty flexible with you at this point, right?
They were so flexible with me. I cannot thank them enough for like just trying everything that I possibly could to make it feel like I was doing well in both areas, like both columns of my life at that point.
Right.
And so I did that for about 2 years and where I was really, where
you're
trying a bunch of different things.
Right.
And I didn't really have like entrepreneurship on my brain at that point. I was just kind of like,
that surprises me. Because when I first met you, I was like, I feel like it's you. When I see you, I feel like entrepreneurial person.
That's funny. I love that. That's cool. I mean, it's up until like recently, I haven't even really like internalized that term associated with me. Cause I just,
that's probably why you're doing good at it.
I guess. I don't know. It just felt like something I'm like, does that apply to me? Is that a title that I can claim? I don't know. So anyways, so then I stepped away with the full intention so I stepped away from my full-time gig and that company I was blessed enough that they offered me an actual leave of absence for 3 years.
What?
Yeah. So that's insane and so unheard of.
I was like, that's gotta be unheard of.
It is. It's not something that I could just say like, okay, I want to come back to this same job at 2 years and 363 days. Like I couldn't do that,
but you have the opportunity to go back to the company.
I could go back and have the opportunity to apply for positions again, as if I was like an internal candidate or something like that. So very cool. But I did that as a way to say like, I don't really know what the next 3 years is going to hold, but like, this feels like maybe like a security net. If I need it, if I really am not.
Making you feel comfortable.
That's right. If my gut's not right and I feel like I need to maybe make an adjustment, then we could. It's been 5 years, so we're not going back.
So you passed that 3. The 3 years is done.
The 3 years is up.
You're now fired.
The safety net has been pulled.
So if you're juggling and drop a ball, it hits the ground.
That's correct. Yes, all of the balls, if they're in the air, I have to catch them. Absolutely. So so then I really I stepped away, but then the timing of that was very interesting because it was October of 2019. So it was right before the world shut down.
Yeah, right before COVID.
We obviously had no idea COVID was coming. I mean, had it hindsight, I would have been like, oh, I probably should have like not changed my life up 150%.
Yeah, I could have kept my job and just worked from home.
That's right.
All the time in the world with the kids.
That's right. I mean, looking back at it, it was like, oh my gosh, because up until that point, my adult life had been controlled really by like somebody else's calendar. And my time wasn't necessarily my own to like make. I woke up every day, I looked at my Outlook calendar, and then I just attended what was and did what was on there. And I didn't really get to have a ton of autonomy or say in what that looked like. And then I stepped away and all of a sudden all this time is mine. And that even felt overwhelming. So I was like, how am I going to fill the time from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. when my husband gets home and I have another like adult to talk to? So it was interesting. And then,
because obviously during COVID, the kids aren't going anywhere.
We weren't. So I was also pregnant at the time. We didn't know.
Oh, with your daughter?
With my middle son.
Middle son?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So he was born in 2020. Yes. So it was a big, huge cluster of a lot of things going on in our life at that time.
What month was he born in?
He was August of 2020.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So it wasn't the height of it.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. He literally just turned. Yeah. No, he will turn 5 tomorrow. Oh. It's crazy. Yeah. So I'll have a 5-year-old tomorrow. But it is
5 years already.
Yes.
Not about your childhood,
but at COVID. Doesn't it feel like a lifetime ago? I know. Yeah. It's So crazy. We didn't leave the house.
So do you say he's a COVID baby?
100%. Yes. Yeah, he does. They're like their own class of kids.
Yeah, it's their own kids. Yes. They're like, yeah, man, I'm cool.
I'm a COVID kid. Yeah. So I was pregnant and like nobody knew what would happen to you if you got COVID and were pregnant. So I was like terrified. So,
or how are you going to deliver the baby if this doesn't stop?
That's right. And so, the delivery experience. Oh my gosh, we could do a whole podcast on that. Delivering during COVID was insane. But anyways,
everyone's watching through a window. They can't even come in.
Oh my gosh. And just like having to be like masked up the entire time.
Awesome, right?
It was awful.
You're like, actually, this is the second time I've done this. Yes. And we didn't do this the first time.
And it was a lot better the first time around. It was awful. It was so awful. So yeah, my life really got flipped upside down. And in the midst of all of that, we moved to Carmel from Broad Ripple.
Oh, okay, so you're living in Broad Ripple.
So we did the classic Butler.
But as I said, Butler.
Yes, graduate.
Was your place in Broad Ripple one bathroom?
It was no. We had a little bit. We weren't in a bungalow. That was the classic.
That's why I always make jokes when people say that. I was like, you have one bathroom, right? There's
one bathroom, one closet.
Yeah, they're like, there's more than the bungalows in Broad Ripple. I'm like, I know. I'm not from here. Even though I've lived here long enough, I should know that. But I always like saying that. I was like, so you had one bathroom? They're like, no. I had 2.5.
That is what
I only had one bathroom.
And 7 roommates.
That's right, exactly. And that is common. I mean, that's like a rite of passage. It's a character builder.
Yeah.
I kind of love it. But we were interesting. So we got married 3 months after we graduated college, which was not like the norm for our social crew and like our friend group at the time. So
what are you, about 21, 22?
We were 22.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we kind of like entered in this little different stage of life. And so we didn't have roommates a lot. Most of our friends who graduated went and lived with a group of friends.
You're smarter.
No, it was
You're
cool.
like, never been arrested.
Yeah, that's true. That is also true. You can put that down.
In Broad Ripple.
That's right. Yes. And so, but going to Butler, living in Broad Ripple was like our village.
Yeah.
I mean, it was where we went to the grocery
That's your
store.
peeps.
That's right. It's where we went out. It's where we shopped. It's where we did everything. And so for we lived there. So it's probably the first 7-8 years that I was an Indianapolis resident. That
because Butler's Marion County.
Yeah.
I always forget that, even though.
Yes. Yeah. That
but
it's in its own little bubble.
There.
We call it the Butler bubble.
Anyone who's listening to the show that's not watching, we're all doing this with our hands.
Yes,
We're making these little bubble.
The Butler bubble. Yeah, it's a real thing. And we lived in that 6-mile radius.
Well, welcome to the Carmel bubble.
That's right.
Well,
I know.
it's
a whole new thing.
It's a little bit bigger.
A little bit. Yes, but living in that area, because I went to college there, felt connected to it.
Yeah, of course.
I felt like I knew where to go to eat. I knew
where
everything to go get
grocery
my hair
shopping.
done.
Yep.
That's
I was
right.
like, your nails, your hair,
That's
everything.
Right. All the things. We figured that all out, by sophomore year of college.
Yeah.
And then we just decided to start our adult life there, and it just felt easy. And then we wanted to, we loved Broad Ripple. I still love going back there. It feels like a little sense of home, truthfully. But
it keeps you young, doesn't it?
It does. It's humbling, and I just I love it.
You see these people there, they're like, that there's no way that person's 21. And
I know.
They are.
They
like,
are.
Oh.
Their birthday was in
2000,
and I'm like, what?
Yes.
If your birthday was in
2005,
2004, you're 11 in my brain.
You're allowed to drink. And you're like, I feel like you're still in your diapers.
That's right. I know. It's terrifying, but yes. So I loved that about living there. And then we didn't realize until we had kids that we lived on a street that was insanely loud. So we lived on Kessler Boulevard.
Okay, I know where it is.
Insanely loud.
It's extremely loud.
It's so loud, and our master bedroom and then the nursery was facing that street.
You know it because the baby's crying.
It wouldn't sleep. And then because there's a Harley Davidson going by at 1 a.m. and we just didn't ever notice that. And then we're up at all hours of the night, and we're like, oh my gosh, it's so loud. And our house being on Kessler too didn't have great walkability. There wasn't really a sidewalk or anything. Right. So we're like, okay, well, maybe let's check this out. My husband grew up in a more suburban area than I did, and he's like, let's just check out these suburbs. I'd really never ventured up here before.
Well, it's funny because when you say a suburb, because it's to me, they're not suburbs anymore.
Right, I know.
But technically by the standard they are, but they're their own cities.
They are. And it's not Indianapolis doesn't have as big of a suburb culture, I don't think, as a bigger city. Right. So a lot of my girlfriends in college, then even my husband's family, they live in the quintessential suburbs of Chicago.
Correct.
And that is a very common term and a very well-developed nomenclature.
Yeah.
And around here, it's not. It doesn't seem like
when you
that.
say suburb, you're like, oh, you live in Carmel. That's a suburb. It is not.
It is not.
It is not a suburb.
That's right.
And you're like, whoa.
I'm
like, okay, well, it is.
I guess.
On paper, it is. Calm down, dude.
It is, it isn't, whatever. Yeah. So we went up here to check it out, and we ended up buying a house, and that was right before COVID.
That was in Carmel.
That was in Carmel. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And that was right before COVID, right before my job change, right before all of this. So all these things, we're new parents in a way. We're also going to be new parents again. We're moving. I'm leaving my job, and then the world is shutting down all within.
And the world is shutting down too.
6 months. So I just quickly felt very just like unregulated. I just was like, where am I?
Yeah. Overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed. And just, I didn't feel like, okay, I wake up every day and I'd be like, who do I call? Where do I go? What do I do? I just didn't feel connected to where we lived. But my husband was, I mean, we loved the house and we were loving like the neighborhood, but beyond that, the city, the community, we were not from here.
Right.
So we just felt very disconnected. And so then once we had our second boy and things started to come alive again in the world, where I kind of made the executive decision for myself that like, we are going to try to get out of the house and try two new things every single day. Whether that be a park, whether that be a restaurant, whether that be whatever. And I, at the time too, when I kind of did this as a side hustle when I was still working full time, but I was doing photography, family photography, maternity, lifestyle headshots, that kind of thing. And I started doing it for my coworkers when I was working full time. But then when I stepped away, the network kind of grew, and that kind of became more of like my nights and weekends when I wasn't with the kids.
Right.
And that allowed me to get out and see a lot more and meet people. And so that, in combination to like what I was going out and trying with my kids or as a family, or like being a little bit more intentional with like date nights or things like that, I started to feel a little bit more connected to this new town that we moved to. And probably like after COVID, it was about a year and a half or so after that, in my full-time gig, I was doing digital marketing for the brand that I was on. And so I always used social media as like a personal fun tool, but nothing like, I'd never put my business brain behind it and been intentional. And so I just had this thought of, if I would have had something that could have just cut the clutter and helped me get basically like onboarded to this new area and get plugged in quickly, and helped me feel like I had a sense of what to do instead of just like wandering about, that would have been really helpful to me. And now that I have my bearings, if I pulled that together, I'm curious if it would be helpful to other people. And then that's how I'm keeping it Carmel. Yeah. So that's how it was born. I hope it is.
Yeah. So you create this. Do you do this by yourself or with a friend or with your husband?
So at the start, I was solo. Right. So at the start, it was just me, truthfully, like a beta test.
Right.
If I do something like this and I put it out in this digital format, will people think it's useful? Will it add value to their lives? And then that's where it started. And it was just me.
So give the listeners an idea of if they, I know you have quite a few followers already, but if they don't know what you're doing, explain that.
Yep. So you will find on all social media platforms, the handle is called Keeping Up in Carmel.
Keeping Up in Carmel.
Keeping Up in Carmel.
Okay.
Yes. And so Carmel is what we call now as my hero city. It's where I live. So we'll talk about the overarching, I'm sure I'll get there, what is called Keeping Up Local, the overarching business.
Because you've branched out throughout the country, right?
Yes. Yeah. So other cities. So
okay, we'll talk about that too.
Yeah. We'll get there. But everybody has a hero city, but then we have a territory that's a little bit larger that encompasses neighboring towns and communities as well.
So for here, it'd be like Zionsville, Fishers, Noblesville.
Westfield.
Yes. I always forget Westfield.
Yes.
Because it's like 1 minute from here.
It's right there. Exactly. And so our goal is to create this one-stop shop digitally. So you find it mostly on social media as well as like traditional website and newsletter format, where if you were to plug in and you follow us or follow me on an account or you subscribe to the newsletter.
And we'll make sure we put all those links up so people can follow you.
That would be great. Thank you. Love that. Yeah. That you would be able to figure out what is going on real time in your community.
What's going on now?
Today.
Right.
Like even to the day level. We publish a newsletter and then recirculate that onto social media every single week that you can check out. And we curate it from all of that territory, all of those towns. We pull in the top events going on every single day.
And how are you finding out you have people doing this, or that's your secret?
So
that's your system.
At the start, it was just me. Now I have a team that helps me. But and even with my local ambassadors in cities across the country, we train them. We have a methodology that we use so that they are all building this out for their communities as well every single week.
Okay.
Down to the daily level. So if you follow us, you at least at a minimum will hopefully find value in knowing what are the top events happening
tonight,
Wednesday.
Yeah, this weekend
that I could go to, or this weekend, or I'm visiting my friend and I want to know like what is actually like. I don't want to know what Google's going to tell me of top things to do in Carmel. I want to know like what the hot events are going on that would be fun for me to attend, that are out of the box and would allow me to really experience where I'm visiting.
Right.
You will find that every single day on
So
our accounts.
Are you looking for sponsors?
So we have sponsors,
Yeah.
and we do partnerships alongside local businesses as well. And so
Okay.
the newsletter is the one piece of it, and so
Okay.
that's like one piece of the value add. If you come across our platform, you'll be able to find every single day something going on, events, things to do. The other piece is then also to raise up local business owners who have taken the courage that it takes to
have a business,
start a business in this community where they also likely live too.
Yeah.
And so we want to spotlight those, raise awareness, not only just that they exist, but also from our first person point of view. People connect, especially on social media, to a person. It's to a face, to a personality, to somebody that they can find commonalities and relate to. And so we try to make sure that we always present our content as well through a POV of somebody that you now have developed like a digital relationship, a digital trust with.
A digital trust.
Yes.
I like that.
New terminology.
Yeah. Did you just make that up?
I don't know. I feel like I've heard it before, but it's a relationship that you know,
a digital trust.
A trust in who this person is.
How she used onboarding for a new community, which actually makes a lot of sense.
Oh,
it's
genius.
Yeah, it is genius.
Because even as you're talking, like I have a million questions. Obviously, we don't have all day, or the show would be 5 hours long. Like I think it's just absolute wizardry that you created this system that like everyone is kind of doing it, but they just don't know they're doing it.
That's right.
Or like you said, when someone comes into a community, I watched the like, is it All Things Carmel?
Mm-hmm.
No, not All Things Carmel. It's like on Facebook, the Carmel handle on Facebook.
Like the city?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people are like, I'm looking for a place where I can watch a football game tonight.
Right. Yeah.
Or is there any place that has chicken wings? And I'm like, I just moved here. I'm like, God, I guess if I just moved here, I'd be pretty confusing.
That's right. And
I've lived in a lot of cities around the country, and this would have been helpful in everyone, because you spend the first 6 months just trying to figure out what's what and where's what and what's going on. So that's
you find I'll just say chicken wings just because that just came up.
Chicken wings.
Literally, someone just I saw that the other day, and someone's like, I'm looking for a good place for chicken wings. I was like, there's so many chicken wing places here. I don't know how come you can't find one. But anyway, it's funny because if you think about it, if you've already vetted that for me,
that's right,
and I'm following you,
yeah,
I don't have to do anything. I'm like, well, you know what? Chelsea told me this is a place to go.
That's right, exactly, and
because I digitally trust her.
That's right. You've developed a digital relationship.
I have a digital relationship.
That's right. Yes, yeah. And there is that like authenticity and like transparency piece that it is. You see me experiencing it. It's not just me telling you that like you could go there. It's me showing you this is what I experienced when I actually went there.
Correct.
And so it does give like a little bit more of like you're experiencing it through the lens of somebody else, and I can likely depend on the fact that will look like that for me when I go there too.
Right.
And so it's less than like I saw it on a billboard. It's a little bit more experiential.
It's not that it was like true paid for ad. It's more of now when you're going into, let's say, these restaurants or these shops or these stores, do any of the restaurant owners or the shop owners are we at the point now where they're recognizing you in Carmel? They're like, uh-oh. Or like, hey, let's make sure send Sue over. She's our best server. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it does happen.
I feel like it does.
Sure. Yeah, it does. But most of the time, I have a good relationship with these restaurant owners.
Because you're out and about.
Owners. Yeah, or we've been connected in some way. We want to work together to help raise awareness or tell a story for them that is important for them to get out to my audience. Right. And so we have a relationship. And so most of the time, truthfully, like we know that we're coming.
Right.
Like it's never like a drop in, like, hey, I'm going to write. And I also don't write reviews. So
yeah, you're not a review
I'm
guy.
not a critic.
No,
I exist.
There's a big difference what you're doing.
There is, yes. Well, because some people are like I always try to make sure people know, like, don't like be nervous about anything. I'm not.
Yeah, if I don't like your chicken marsala, I'm not going to say it's bad.
I'm just not going to say right.
I'm just not going to say anything.
I'm just not going to say anything. Yeah. I don't exist like tear down local businesses or to like put shame or put like a bad aura around anything that anybody does locally. It's more so of the opposite. And we want to generate positive awareness because we want people local businesses are the backbone of what makes a town cool.
Oh, 100%.
It's like, nobody goes home and it's like, no offense if anybody from Olive Garden listens to this, but they're not like, oh my gosh, Carmel, Indiana has the best Olive Garden.
He actually loves Olive Garden.
I love Olive Garden too, but that's not usually what puts like a city on
No,
the
you're
map.
100. You're so correct. And we have so many good places.
I wish
here.
there was an Olive Garden in Carmel. I'll just go on the record and say that.
I think we live on the west side. And
Yeah, there's one over there, but that's out of the Carmel bubble.
Oh, okay.
I want to share this, but we're not going to say the name of this place, right?
Okay.
So this place was opened up in Carmel, and it was here for a little while, and then unfortunately, it just wasn't what Carmel was needing. And then recently, the same group changed it.
That's right.
And I had the privilege to be there the other night, and it was phenomenal.
Great.
Yeah, it was so good, and it's interesting because I would never say anything bad about the other place because the other place was good.
Yes.
It just wasn't what Carmel needed.
That's right.
And now this other place is Carmel. It's good. It's great actually.
It.
Yeah, and I know you're gonna have a great time.
Yes, I'm excited.
But again, we're not gonna mention that because we did just do the restaurant series. So
love. I can't wait to listen to that. It'll be great.
You'll enjoy them. Okay, continue. I got distracted.
That's
there
okay. I don't remember where we were. What were we talking about? The start of what I call KUIC, Keeping Up in Carmel.
Yes.
KUIC. Yes.
KUIC.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. It's
so do you sell apparel for it?
I don't have apparel. We don't have. We thought about it.
And I can hook you up with her name is Kelly. She owns an amazing company right down the street.
Would love that.
All female.
Okay.
So, well, it's funny because it's a female business, but she will never say it's an all-female business because obviously she doesn't want to get in trouble. But I can say it because it's
not her.
Because I'm not her.
That's
but
right.
she is an absolute rock star. She
I
does
would love
all my
that.
apparel for
cool.
all my companies.
Okay.
I connect her with so many people.
Oh, please do. Because sometimes it's hard
Yeah.
to find somebody local for that. Because, there's so many. You go on Google. It's
185
like
Productions is the name of the company.
Yeah.
Or promotion. Sorry, 185 Promotions.
Promotions.
I will. I'll make sure I give you her information.
Okay, that'd be great. I would love
And who
to.
knows? You might have met her out and
Maybe.
about. She's awesome.
That'd be awesome. Because, we don't really do apparel per se. But
you should, like with the acronym, the
that'd
T-shirt.
be cool.
Yeah.
KUIC. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I would love that. Yes. So that launched in August of 22, and it was on Instagram primarily from a social media perspective, but then also that like more traditional website newsletter. So keepingupincarmel.com.
So is a newsletter like a blog or no?
It is there. We do have blogs. So like people ask me, so I have little kids. So they'll ask me like, what is your favorite place to have a kid's birthday party?
Right.
And I have a blog.
And you're like, not Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah. No.
I'm just kidding.
I have a blog that's like categorized by age and interest, and that's like a traditional blog, and I'll just send them that.
Okay.
But then there's a newsletter that it's free to subscribe to that is pushed out to subscribers on Sunday nights. That is a download of those top events happening in that like geographical region that I cover every single week. So that's dependable. It's content that's repeatable every single week, falls more into that newsletter category. And then we do one-off blog posts that are thematic and have a single purpose.
Right.
And sometimes those are pushed out to subscribers. Sometimes we just promote those across our social media platforms too.
So I have a question for you. So for example, let's say I'm in Zionsville.
Yes.
And I'm new and I'm looking for my wife and I love brunch.
Yeah.
So I go. How do I find out where to go to brunch in Zionsville?
Yeah, I mean, if you
walk me through it if I was like just a new subscriber or a new.
Yes, what I would start with is to go to keepingupincarmel.com and in our little search bar, just search brunch and you'll see like
so you
3
just
or 4.
go to your site and then you just search it.
Yes, and you'll see. So I've got like top brunch with kids, top bougie brunch,
okay,
top brunch. Like it's categorized. And then you also, if you follow on social media, on Instagram, I'll have. Obviously, throughout, we post something every single day.
Right.
So you can get plugged in that way. But if you're looking for something brunch specifically, like I'll have a highlight on my profile that I'll have like dining or restaurants and brunch. I think maybe we do have a breakfast highlight. Go on there, and then it will have a series of things to get plugged into. And
totally makes sense.
Yeah.
So if people want to find out places to go, they would go to your website.
Yeah.
And they should follow you really on Instagram because that's kind of like happening.
It's dual happening simultaneously.
Right.
A lot of people find the Instagram first and then they so blog subscribers, especially with the events list and the newsletter, they get the information first. So social media is always a day late.
Okay.
So
A day late on social media.
Yes.
Whoa.
We like to give our
There goes
blog
our digital
subscribers-
relationship. I'm breaking up with you.
No. We're very transparent about
No,
it.
I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. I think that's awesome.
Yes.
No.
So we're really transparent about it because we want blog subscribers. Those are like our ride or dies. They
Right.
are plugged into basically like everything that we have to be plugged into. And so if they're
And how do they subscribe?
at keepingupincarmel.com.
You just go to that and
Yep, it'll guide you through it. It's
Okay.
it's pretty
Very-
much everywhere on the
Okay.
website. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so you can subscribe to the newsletter, then you're going to get pushed that a day before everybody else that sees it on social media.
Nice.
So, and then you'll also you'll get the full week. So we push it out, we push a newsletter out on Sundays, and it has the full week of information Sunday to Sunday.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, Monday to Sunday. It goes
Monday-
out on
right.
Sunday. Yes.
Yeah.
And then on social, social, we don't have, it's not made for long form content, right?
Right.
And these lists are pretty lengthy, and there's a ton of stuff going on around here. So
There's a lot of stuff going on.
so much. And so even to curate the list down, we couldn't list everything possible. We have to kind of really like pick and choose, like what are the top things? Like if I ran into at the grocery store, like I would say like, hey, I think that this would be worth your time and your money and your valuable resources
Right.
for you to go and do this. So anyways, we put that out on social from a week perspective on Mondays, Monday through Friday. And then on Friday, we repost a weekend roundup.
Weekend roundup.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that goes out on Fridays every week, focusing on just what's going on the weekends. But if you subscribe to the newsletter, you get the full weeks in advance on Sunday.
Okay. And does it cost money?
$0.
$0.
$0.
So you're silly if you live around here, anywhere on the north side, not to subscribe.
You said it.
I'll say it again, right, Justin? If you listen, all my friends in like California or New York are like, can she do it here
Yeah.
too?
Well, if you know somebody, we
Yeah.
can talk about that next.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, let's talk about how you've now expanded this. I'm going to call it a business.
Yeah.
This idea, this concept, this business module.
Yes.
So
What happened?
yeah, how did we do this?
So
Because it's genius.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was, again, building the plane while we're flying it. I can't say that like when I started Keeping Up in Carmel, I had this grand vision, but it quickly formed because it did gain traction, and I was hearing from people that this was adding value to their lives, and this was like serving the community in a positive way. And I was encouraged by that. And, I thought, there are some things, some of this is me. And, I do have like share my personality and, inside kind of
but
view.
people like that.
People like that.
Of course.
And that's, that part is harder to replicate because if you're connected to the person only, like when that person leaves potentially. So part of that was me, but then there was also part that was, I think, replicable, that we could kind of create some model and we could do this and serve other communities across the country in this way. And so that was a test in itself. And we did our first, like a soft launch of the parent company, which is now called Keeping Up Local.
Keeping Up Local.
Keeping Up Local. Yes. So we did a soft launch on the south side of Indianapolis with our first affiliate, Keeping Up in Greenwood.
Okay.
Yes. So it was all.
Which is for those of you who do not live around here, which is the south side of the city.
That's right. It's like, so she covers Greenwood's her hero city, but she covers that like southern kind of belt of
like
Indianapolis.
Southport and
Southport, Greenwood, Whiteland, Bargersville, all that down
area.
there.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was all in the family. So it's my sister-in-law has a similar professional background that I do. She also was a young mom, and she was just kind of looking for something that could keep her brain fresh, use her talents, her degree, her experience to do something productive, and also to help to serve her community that they really loved and were passionate about. And so soft launched the grand plan with her in Greenwood. And we we realized quickly, like from a business operations perspective, we had a lot to do after launching that. Because when you're just a solo person, you're
that
like,
juggling just got an extra ball.
That's right. And we're like,
an extra pin.
Yes, like I want to do this. Okay, just do it. And now when you add something else, but also then understanding like the legality and the accounting and the tax, like all the things that are not that fun about owning a business, like that came to fruition when you expand. And so that took us a minute to really get our ducks in a row to take it to a play that we felt like we could open it up to many and multiple communities. So that took us a little while. She was up and running. My timing always gets a little fuzzy,
That's all right.
but I think like a year-ish.
Okay.
And then we decided to go nationwide. So we launched Keeping Up Local. It will almost be a year. So October of 2024. We kind of put this out into the world that now any community, you can apply to become an ambassador, become the local ambassador. So now I am a local ambassador myself.
Okay.
For the north side of Indianapolis, north of Indianapolis, those communities we talked about. Maddie, who runs Keeping Up in Greenwood, she is now a local ambassador as well of the south side. Anybody can apply to be a local ambassador for their community and then become part of our team and then do what we do in their community.
Now, this is a crazy question because, so obviously it was your sister-in-law, you said?
Yes.
So
yeah.
you have a relationship.
That's
okay.
right. Yeah.
So now let's say someone in, I'll just say like in a suburb of like Las Vegas. I don't know.
Sure.
So how are you making sure that the local ambassador is fitting the same core values and the same work ethic that you have, and they're not like a problematic person?
So we,
Right?
yes,
Is that
I mean,
a good
it's hard.
question?
It is a good question because it was not something that I truthfully put a ton of thought into before we opened this all up. And I've said this to literally anybody who's asked me about the launch of Keeping Up Local. 5 days into it, I looked at my husband and I was like, did we just make the worst decision of our lives?
Right.
Because we just didn't expect the volume and the amount of like infrastructure we needed to make sure that we did have those kind of like tolls in place to make sure that people were normal and honorable and had integrity and were hard workers.
Or they're running around like talking bad about a business now, and that's the opposite of what you're trying to do.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. So we very quickly had to kind of pull everything together. I was so grateful to my family and friends because they really rallied around me at that time when I was way over my head.
Yeah.
We kept getting ding, 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 all these applications for all of these
I
different
can see this already coming.
communities.
Ding, ding, ding. You're
Yes.
like, what is?
I was
You're like
expecting
this.
yes, I know. And I was expecting to have to review maybe like 10 applications. And, I mean, at this point we're like well over like 130 different applications.
Wow.
And which is exciting, but at that point in time, it was terrifying.
Yeah.
And it was overwhelming. Again, I just didn't have the mental capacity or the time.
Are you getting a lot of the same, a lot of applicants from the same area, or is it pretty much still, is it properly?
We've had we've had a few, like,
Duplicates,
3 people from this area.
Right.
And then after a while we did kind of close off central Indiana because we don't want to truncate it like too many, cut too many slices of the pie.
Right.
So now we are seeing a lot more, I mean, places I've definitely never been to, and also need a little education on like where they even are.
Don't we all?
Yeah. I'm like, my geography needs a little
Here's a map.
refresher, which is cool though. And like,
Nebraska.
I'm like, what's there? So that's been pretty cool. But we have like a pretty prescriptive set of core values and mission statement that we walk through with everybody who is gotten to a point that we think that we may pull the trigger and like kind of give them the rights to an area and give them like a territory to run on our team. And they are very much grounded in integrity. We don't participate. I mean, there's a lot of ways in social media to fake it.
Yeah.
Fake your following, fake your engagement, fake your metrics. And
Just fake.
Fake.
Social media.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we are very, very transparent, forward facing, like to our customer, to our clients and our partners.
Right.
That's not something we participate in, and why, especially as a local business, like you need to know why that's important, because you lump everybody in the same category as influencer. Well, if your influencer's influence is scattered across the country and half of them are in Europe, for a local business, like that influence is not important to you.
Right.
It's not going to help you move the needle. It's not going to help you meet your business goals. So you need to know that their audience was built organically. And if they're sharing local content that helps to serve a community that is defined by a geographical area, then the people who are following them, like, why would you follow me if you lived in North Dakota? If I run an account that's focused on the north of Indianapolis community,
right?
I wouldn't add a ton of value to your life. It would just kind of be wasted mind space when you saw my content. So or
they just like you.
Or they maybe that could be it. But it is very that is like number one in our mission statement, and that the way that we grow and the way that we work is 100% authentic. And then there's a few other things in how we do business. It's also kind of fun. So most of the time with content creation, it's a lonely road. It's a solo man's game.
Right.
And with this, you instantly come into a team.
Right.
That is no competition. We have very firm territory lines. So when it comes to partnerships and businesses that you are working with, like you'll never be competing with somebody else on our team. And so you instantly just have these people who are sharing knowledge every single week, who are there to support and cheer you on.
Right.
I did this by myself for 2 years, and it was so isolating. Like it was just, you always were second guessing things. You never knew if something was going to hit. You didn't have anybody to review what you were going to say. Like my girlfriends who had nothing to do with what I was doing professionally in this creative space were my coworkers for the first 2 years, because I would send them all my content,
quote unquote,
that's
coworkers.
Right. That's right. Because they were not getting paid, and they were just volunteering their time because they're my friends and I love them. And they were getting like, hey, what do you think of this? What do you think if I changed it to this? You know, that. But now we have a team, and everybody uses us for that. And it's just like iron sharpens iron. Everybody can get better. And
it's a great statement.
Yeah. So that's kind of a unique piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's next for you within this realm, or are you doing something different?
Yeah. So, I mean, our goal is to continue to grow more affiliates. So my vision for this is that I would love for our model and what we do to be a lifestyle and a community staple across the country, so that you think, oh, you know, somebody's moving from Carmel to suburb of Chicago. Do they have a Keeping Up local affiliate there?
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Like I need to, that's my first go-to, is to find out how to get plugged in here. Is that, and I want to grow it to a place where it's a common enough, we have enough affiliates that it's common that people, as they're traveling or as they're even moving, like that's the first place that they go. So like one of our big targets is tourism cities. So we want to go places that have the people go visit, because we want this to also become a thought of, instead of just going like Google or Yelp, that we're just going to go straight to the Keeping Up local affiliate, because they're really going to get us plugged in.
And do you think you'll do international too?
I don't know. That's way far off. The interesting thing about it all,
she's juggling.
Yeah,
she's like, why not?
So many things. No, is every so like we've expanded to Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's a place I've never been. And so understanding like how communities, like especially a non-Midwest community, responds to a digital media platform that does this, where like Albuquerque, our affiliate, she's the only one doing something like this.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Is there a lot of people that are, I shouldn't say a lot of people, and I don't know if it's competition, but are there people doing this?
Saturated market?
Yeah.
Yeah. It depends on where you go. So like Indianapolis has a ton of great content creators, and this is a relatively saturated market, I would say. But like then now we're expanding into communities where truthfully, like I have 2 girls in different communities outside of the Midwest that they are the first and only people. We looked high and low for not competition, but
that's right. I didn't want to use the word competition, but
yes, for other people in the same lane, and there's just, that's not there. And so
that's a great way to put it, in the same lane.
Yes. And that is, you know, at first it's really exciting, which it is exciting.
Yeah.
You're groundbreaking, you're trailblazing, you're bringing something new to community. But then there's also a consumer behavior piece of that we're learning on the back end, where like you almost have to train people in that community to come to a digital resource like ours on social media to look for this information. Because if there's no one doing it, that's not where they're going.
If they're not used to doing that or don't know they can do it.
That's right. They don't know to go there. They're sticking with a Google search. They're not using social media as like a search engine yet.
Right.
And so that has been, you know, an interesting challenge, because in our neck of the woods, it is fairly common, but as we expand, we're just, having to understand like what the community has been primed for is different everywhere you go.
I love it.
Yeah.
And now your husband's supportive of this, obviously.
Yeah. So now he's actually in the biz now. Yeah. So we talked about our team.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
okay.
So he is our CFO. Again, he's an accountant.
Yeah. By education.
That's right.
And education and occupation.
Yeah. That's right. So he handles.
And is he still working for the other company still?
He is.
Yeah,
yes.
good.
He's moonlighting.
Yeah, good.
Yes. But he's always been really supportive of it. He knows that just like a quality of life perspective, I've got to have something for me to not be going crazy. Yeah. So this has always been helpful for that. But then now as it's grown, it's just been really enjoyable to do it together, build it together.
Nice.
It's not like a family biz. And then recently we made our first part-time hire on the team as well. That's just working with me and Keeping Up in Carmel, and then also with Keeping Up Local too.
So Keeping Up in Carmel is we'll call it the flagship.
That's the flagship affiliate. It's our first one. Okay. Yeah, currently largest following.
And then the rest that you're opening up are Keeping Up Local.
So the Keeping Up Local, if you think about it, is like the overarching parent company. Okay. So like it's like, I don't know if this is dated, but it's like Alphabet to Google. Yeah. So if it's we're all pointing back, we all have a similar when you pull up in another affiliate's account, so you'll see Keeping Up in Brownsburg, Keeping Up in Greenwood, Keeping Up in Albuquerque, Keeping Up we have a downtown Indianapolis that's really Marion County focused. They all have their own sub brand.
So if I'm in Albuquerque, how would I know that you just started one there?
So if you're searching on social media, primarily is where you find it. So a lot of people use social media like a search engine. So you'll go to social media and you'll say Albuquerque restaurants. And then we train our teams and our it's all females right now, so I say girls, but that's not like we've had male applicants and they are absolutely welcome, and like I think it'd be really cool to have a guy doing this.
That's what Kelly says too.
Is it? I think it would be cool to have guys. I really do. I think a male perspective would be a really cool take on this, but then we train them so that they show up in those searches. Yeah. So that's likely how you're going to get plugged in, because the goal is really not to drive a ton of people to. So like Keeping Up Local, we have an Instagram handle, we have our own website, but we don't want a ton of followers plugging in there. We'd rather have them be plugged into the affiliate that it's appropriate for them. Okay. That would add value because of where they live.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yes. So usually it's you're doing a search in social media, or with AI and the algorithms on social media platforms, we do most of our affiliates also are on TikTok as well, and they are learning based on what you are engaging with on social media. Right. So if you're engaging with local content in any capacity, like it's likely going to serve you what we post, and you'd find out about it in that way too. So.
Justin, it's interesting because in the everyday GSD mentality, the mindset, what she's doing is she's creating an everyday GSD platform because she's already getting shit done, right? So she's allowing people to not have to go and do all the legwork, so they can just go on to your platform in any of these cities and just know, if I want to do any of these things, I know that Chelsea and her team have basically vetted this and can show me if I want a GSD in Albuquerque, I can go and do that because I don't have to go and figure this. I don't have to do all this legwork. It's already done. What you've done is like genius.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And
it's actually brilliant.
Wow. It leads us to our next segue. If you read my note.
Oh, I switched screens. Sorry.
That's all right.
Oh yeah. We should too. So I'm the commander at the VFW. This is what his note was.
Oh, cool.
Well, we have a big event coming this weekend, but by the time this airs, this will be already done. But it's called Rib Fest. We have right now we have over 500 RSVPs.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
500 to 700.
Okay.
The VFW is Veteran Foreign Wars. For those of you who don't know, it's post 10,003. But yeah, after the show, we'll talk about it, and maybe you should come and check it out because we have this beautiful deck. We have live music, not just this weekend, all the time. We do breakfast every other Saturday.
I love it.
But it's a lot of what is it? What's the Carmel? All things. I keep saying All Things Carmel. It's not All Things Carmel. There's some. It comes out every Friday. They always mention us.
Is it the show you were on?
No. Yeah, it was. Yeah. I was on that.
Is it right over? Is it by like Brewburger?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I know exactly where it is.
But anyway, we sidetracked that. But after the show, I'll tell you.
Talk about it. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it'll be real quick.
Let's definitely get her out to the V and have her do a little expose on the V.
That'd be sweet.
Turn it into something that's not typical. It's not a typical VFW. It's really amazing.
Yeah. Is it open to the public?
On certain days.
But
when it's not open to the public, you can be signed in by a member, which there's a lot of members there all the time.
Sweet.
We we have a pretty big we have a big following.
I love that. That's amazing. See, it'd be
Yeah.
cool to get in
Yeah.
plugged in and then raise awareness if you do want the public to attend.
Oh yeah,
Raise awareness.
Yeah, because we have a
for
lot of
whatever you're
events
doing.
for the public.
Oh,
for
okay,
sure.
cool. I love that.
But,
That's cool. I appreciate you hearing that mission though, and like being able to like recount
Oh,
that because it's cool. To
No,
hear that.
it's really cool what you're doing, and you know, we always try to plug in like how is it in the everyday GSD mindset and the
Yes.
mentality.
Yeah.
But that's my reminder for you. You have children.
Yes, that's right.
And you're very busy. So I
You're
appreciate
fine.
your time. But I do want to wrap it up real quick. But I think it's impressive what you've done to basically allow people to enjoy the cities they're in at a much faster rate than they would
Way
if they
more
just
efficient.
way more efficient.
Yes.
And when you're more efficient, it's more productive. When you're more
Yes.
productive, you feel better about the city. There's so many
Yes.
people that have moved to cities. They're like, I didn't really like Carmel. I'm like,
What did you do?
what'd you do?
Right.
Like, there's nothing to do there. I'm like, oh my goodness.
I know.
And I hear
Yes.
that in many cities. 'Cause
Yes.
my wife and I, we love to go out. We love to meet people.
That's right.
But when you hear that, you're like, geez, oh my God, I lived in the North End in Boston. There's a million things to do. Oh, I lived in the North End and it was just Italian food. I didn't like it. I'm like, what?
Yeah, what? I know.
Are you talking
Yes.
about?
And that was what I struggled with was my journey to getting plugged in and acclimated here was not efficient. And there was a lot of frustration. And then once I did love it, I was like, gosh, somebody should have told me X, Y,
Yeah.
or Z 6 months ago. And
Yeah.
I could have saved the headache or been more efficient with my time.
With your time, because time
Yes,
is money.
it is totally.
And we only have so much time, and you
That's
can't
right.
buy time, right? You can
can't.
never get it back.
And you can't get it back. And when you
can-
waste time,
Yeah,
it
and
is so
especially you have
frustrating.
3 children.
Yes.
They're gonna be 3 young adults soon.
know. Don't
I know,
say it.
right? But
hate it.
listen, I know you have to go, and I really want to thank
You're
you for
fine.
taking time to be on the show.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Do you have a message for the audience? One last thing you might want to say in the everyday GSD thought process or in your world?
Oh my gosh, I love it. Well, I mean, shameless plug. Would
No,
love for
there's
you
no
to
shameless plugs.
follow along on social media at Keeping Up in Carmel and stay plugged into what we're doing across the country at Keeping Up Local.
Keeping up local.
That's right. And then the other thing I would say, this is more philosophical. I almost didn't start this platform because I thought I was the only one who was experiencing the issue, like the trouble or the frustrations that I was experiencing. I'm not from here. I thought everybody else must be plugged in. This is probably going to flop. It's probably going to be my friends and family tuning in, and it's not going to really go anywhere. That mentality like almost kept me from doing this. And then ultimately the feedback was, no, this is, even if I've lived here my entire life, you've helped me look at the city in a different way that I wasn't. So don't let devil's advocate make you think that you're the only one who's experiencing whatever you're experiencing. If you have a good idea, it's likely a good idea, and like execute on that good idea because there's probably somebody else who's going to help.
I love it. That's a great way to end the show. Thank you so much for being on the show. I have a gift for you. We'll take some pictures after, but this is just a little
That's
everyday
cute.
GSD shirt because
From your friend, from Kelly.
Because absolutely, Kelly,
love it.
185 Promotions. She's awesome. She is
Cool.
actually a rock star. She's supposed to be on the show, but she's dodging me.
Oh,
Because
she's probably really busy.
She's busy, but she's kind of shy, she says.
Oh, that's funny.
No, but she's awesome.
This
But
is
anyway,
easy. Tell her
hey,
it's easy. I'll tell her it's easy.
Awesome. Thank you so
Of
much.
course, thank you.
I can't wait to see you around Carmel or
Yeah.
anywhere in any other city.
That's right. There you go. Thank you
thank
for
you.
your time. See ya.